expansion,
Definitely a lot.
Yeah, even without being behind bars, society, we're living in a world where unfortunately mental health and depression and all these things are quite prevalent.
Mental health, 1 in 3 now.
Yeah, I want to talk a bit more about that because part of what you've been doing these last few years not only has been working on yourself but helping others. So I want to talk a little bit about that, but along this jail thing that we're going in, because it was a long time, 7-8 years. We obviously went to trial and we had the sleeping judge.
We did.
For all of you that don't know, Judge Ian Dodd later became known as the infamous sleeping judge, Judge Dodd.
Judge Nod.
Judge Nod, sorry. Ruben and I had him in our trial in 2005, I think it was, yeah. We heard him clearly snore in trial. All of our family saw him snore. It was audible. The prosecutor barrister used to wake him up. Excuse me, Your Honour, is that a good time for break? That kind of thing. His assistant would bang books, rulers, anything on her bench to wake him up. And the whole trial was a bit of a farce because, number one, what was going on wasn't very interesting anyway.
I'm actually glad he fell asleep.
There was basically listening to phone taps in Spanish.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Reading transcripts in English. The whole thing was what it was. But so this guy is sleeping, and some of the jury members go, "Fuck this! I'm going to go to sleep too." And yeah. So, but eventually, the thing ends. We get found guilty, and right before we go to sentencing, it blows up all over the media that there's this sleeping judge. And there was 9 cases before the Judicial Commission. One of them was ours. So 1 month before trial, we're front page news all over Sydney, perhaps even Australia, sleeping judge. And then the following day, it'll be another case. So
came out of French newspapers.
Yeah. And then the next day they'll take his driver's license off him because
sleep
apnea. Sleep apnea is what he had.
Yeah.
So every day we're on the news, and every time the judge gets brought up, we get brought up because we were one of the complainants before the Judicial Commission. So we go to sentencing, and this motherfucker's waiting for us with a baseball bat. Court is packed full of journalists. Yeah. And he was wide awake when we walked into that. Man, he was on some I don't know what the fuck he was on.
He had a few coffees.
He had a few coffees, to say the least, yeah. He walked in and we walked in, he walked in, he was wide-eyed, bro. He was like, where are these cunts? And it was quick and it was swift, and we basically got fucking smashed. We got sentences we never should have gotten, considering the ins and outs of the case. Subsequently, we appeal. The Supreme Court says, yes, the Constitution stipulates that you have the right to a fair trial in front of a judge and jury, but it doesn't stipulate the consciousness of the judge. 2-1 decision. We lose. There was a bit of a media thing about it. So some lawyers and some barristers in Australia grew some fucking nuts. We get some good representation. We go to the High Court. We win. So Sasan v. the Queen, Mas Rivadavia v. the Queen. For all of you out there with the legal kind of brain or interest, you can look all of that up. And yeah, we won the case, and as good as the victory was, it was like, okay, cool, great, just get me the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah. Let's plead guilty now.
Well, I mean,